All right, everyone, welcome back, and we're here with Dan Smith, just talking more everything mountain rescue.
Oh yeah, it is the shoulder season for us. We're doing some missions with ATVs with chains, some missions with snow machines, some missions with the Mark I hiking boot, some missions with snowshoes. It's just all across the map.
So this time you kind of have to be ready for everything.
You always do, and it's just how high you're going up, and is there a road to it or not. And you always, when there's snow on the ground, you don't go past the trailhead without a shovel, beacon, and probe. And there's a fourth tool right here.
Right, using your brain.
You got to use your brain.
And that's somewhat why we're here, talking a bit more of the gear, and it's also, early thoughts that it's already up almost basically avalanche season.
There have been a number of avalanches in the state. The last count I saw was 13, and it was before CIAC opened up. So these are just avalanches that people have skied by and seen the results. Nobody hit in them, but they're small and they're shallow. But a small, shallow avalanche can still knock your feet out from under you.
Right.
And you can get dragged through rocks or trees or over cliffs real easy. So you just have to be careful. Mm-hmm. Slabs are what is going now, and they're deteriorating pretty rapidly, and it's pretty safe up there. There's also not much snow. As we get more snow on top of what remains of this, then it starts to get dangerous because you have a sliding surface.
Right, it creates a shelf and another slab and another slab.
The interface between those two slabs is very delicate, and you can trigger it. And that's what will occur, hopefully, knock on some wood, that we won't lose anybody this year. But we had 8 killed last year in the state.
Yes, that's
and
true.
45, I believe, hit by avalanches, and I think we had 16 burials, something of that nature. We're very fortunate in Eagle County. I don't believe we had any. I think we had one avalanche, but it was one that we resolved it pretty quick.
Right. Nearest, I think, was Aspen and Summit last
season.
Yeah,
and it's just it's very dangerous in the backcountry. Inherently, we do dangerous sports here, so have to have AVI 1 at a minimum. Nice if somebody in the party has AVI 2 and is a leader, and you have to have the ability to say no.
Right.
Most of the people that get hurt shouldn't have been there. Always exceptions. They should have known to say no, and that's so hard to do. You don't want to be the wuss in the group. We work on a all to go, one to say no principle. If one guy says no, we don't go.
Right. That's a huge factor in it, is just understanding if something doesn't look right, that you should just walk away from that terrain.
That's pretty much it. Oh, but it looks so beautiful. I mean, the snow would no. There's places around here you just don't go.
That's a huge part of also going in the backcountry, is going with people you trust,
Absolutely.
The right type of team. Do you want to talk a little bit about the gear you brought with you? This is somewhat the pack mentality.
That's what you have to have in your pack. The long black thing is a folded probe, a good steel shovel. Don't accept plastic substitutes. If you have to dig, it gets rather frenzied and plastic will come apart or break. That shovel is pretty good.
And having the beacon as well.
I was working on Vail Mountain once with one of my other jobs, and asked some people that were about to go over into East Vail Chutes, do you have a beacon? Say, yeah, there's 5 of us, we have 1 beacon. It was a while explaining that 1 beacon doesn't do you any good.
Right.
Everybody needs to have a beacon.
And they all know how to triangulate and use that beacon.
All know, and the best, I get asked, or a lot of the folks that do this, what's the best beacon? Well, the best beacon's the one you can use.
And that has full battery life, right?
Well, yeah, you change your batteries, start of the season, and have spares, and if it gets below 40%, toss them and put in new batteries. Mm-hmm. But everybody's got to have it. Everybody's got to know how to use it. It's so important.
The East Vail Chutes locally is probably one of the more accessible side country terrains, which can be an element of danger with people venturing into that area that don't necessarily have as much backcountry experience.
Well,
that's a gift and a curse a little bit.
We pull several people typically out of the East Vail Chutes, and people die in there.
And they do slide often.
They slide very often. It's an area that's very well known by ski patrol. We're much more likely to be in a support role with ski patrol for an avalanche in the East Vail Chutes. That's their turf. They know that really, really well. We've got some folks that are very competent and can ski it, but I'd rather put people in that are skiing 150 days a year than people that are skiing 30 days a year.
Right.
And so that's going to be patrol's turf almost all the time.
All right, well, Dan, thank you for your time. I wish we had more time to talk all things mountain rescue. Go to mountainrescue.org for any more info, and there's a lot of donorship there as well,
yes,
so anyone that wants to get involved with Mountain Rescue can. And we're going to be checking out our local weather as well again. Thanks, Dan.
Very good. Take care.